Today we have our Wheelman Flex unit that we're going to show you how to install in your tractor. The Flex unit is nice because it's removable from tractor to tractor, so you can transfer this from tractor to tractor, and basically you buy the Wheelman Flex unit and then you buy a spares unit for your additional tractors. Our parts for this, we have a bracket. This particular bracket is for Case IH 150 Maxim, and fairly easy to install, and we'll show you how to install it in a minute. So that's the bracket. This is the ring gear that goes on the bottom of your existing steering wheel, and we have a top bracket. Basically this gear just attaches to your steering wheel, and then our Wheelman Flex unit attaches to the bracket. We have an anti-rotation pin that goes into the bottom of the Flex unit, and a little anti-rotation bearing that goes on the bracket, and we'll show you how to install this in your tractor next. Okay, so we're up in our tractor, and this particular model we have a bracket. It's got 3 screws. There's 3 screws on your console. We'll simply take those 3 screws out, and we're going to attach the bracket right to the underside of your console. Okay guys, so I've installed the bracket on the underside of our console. Next is our ring gear, and this ring gear is that mounts underneath the steering wheel. There is 4 screws that we have to take apart, so I'll do that quick. So once you remove those 4 screws, that ring gear basically splits. We're going to take that and put it right underneath our steering wheel, and then we will reinstall the 4 screws to make it one piece again. Okay, we've got our ring gear put back together. That's on the bottom side of our steering wheel. Next we have our top bracket. And basically we put our top bracket around our steering wheel spokes, and then we're going to use 6 screws to basically sandwich that to our steering wheel. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put our 6 screws in, we'll tighten that up, and basically when you're going around, basically just try to line this top bracket up so it's even on all 3 spokes, and the gear's even around your steering wheel, so it basically makes a nice circle when it's turning. Okay, so we're installing our ring gear. We've got that at the bottom. We've got our top bracket on top, and like I said, we're going to tighten this down on top of your steering wheel. And it's important once we get this thing snug down, you get all 6 bolts in, and you start tightening this thing down. It doesn't have to be super tight, but we want it secure. And then, like I said, it's important once you put it on your steering wheel to make sure that thing's lined up so you have an even space all the way around. So when you turn your steering wheel, the ring gear is making a circle so it doesn't interfere with our flex motor. And there's actually a bag of screws we send with in the kit, and there's different length screws. So depending on your steering wheel, you have a thicker or thinner steering wheel. You can use a shorter screw so it doesn't protrude way out the bottom of the ring gear and interfere with anything. So once we get that installed, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put our anti-rotation bearing. And what we do is you installed your bracket already, so we basically leave these screws pretty loose, and we're going to stick that in the bracket, and we'll basically just barely tighten those up and leave those so that bracket can still move around, because we're going to put our anti-rotation pin in after we put the flex on. So after we put that in there, the next thing, we have our flex unit here. So basically you just unstrap that, open that up, and we're going to stick that right on our tractor. And basically just going to make sure that your gear is aligned with the gear on the unit here. It goes on fairly easy, and this particular model, pretty simple. Next thing we're going to do is our anti-rotation pin. So this particular model, the bracket is right here. You can look at the bottom of the unit. we're going to take and put our anti-rotation pin up through that bracket and tighten that up. And we've got a wrench included with that, so we're going to tighten that pin up. Just like so. So in this, we want that pin tight, but we've got a fairly long wrench there, so don't over tighten that, just make it so it's tight. And then after we get that, we still have everything lined up here. Looks good. That's fitting. So next thing we'll do, we'll take these wing nuts and secure them on the bottom, and that's basically it. We're gonna run our wiring harness and stuff, and put our IMU in yet and our antenna, but that completes the flex installation. And as you can see, it looks real nice. Okay, so we've got our flex unit installed, and the nice thing about the flex unit is we can move from tractor to tractor. And it's fairly simple, because you're going to buy the flex unit, Wheelman Flex, to start with, and if you want to move it to another tractor, you're going to buy another kit that's called a spares kit, and that's going to include the gear, the top bracket, your wiring harness, your IMU, and your antenna. So to move this from tractor to tractor, once you've installed the spares kit, we simply have to take out our anti-rotation pin out of the bottom of the unit. So we unscrew that and we pull that pin out, and then we basically just remove our Wheelman Flex. And as you can see, that come off really easy. Basically, we can take this this pin and the Wheelman Flex off to the next vehicle. You've already installed the spares kit in there, and it's less than it took me a minute to take it off, and it might take you 3-4 minutes to put it back on. So it's easy to transfer, and that's the really nice thing about a Wheelman Flex, is the versatility to use it from vehicle to vehicle without installing taking an hour or 2 hours to move this thing. Once you install the spares kit, it's a real simple process to transfer this from tractor to tractor.